At almost every stop along the way there have been very few people who look like me. I wasn't the first black Navy SEAL, and I'm not the first black smoke jumper. Back in the 1940s, there was a team of black smoke jumpers called the Triple Nickels who fought forest fires in the American West, but their contribution was not well publicized and unfortunately is largely forgotten today. It is all too rare to find a black person fighting wildfires anywhere in North America, but it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. We are all hindered by supposedly fixed social lines. Whatever your gender, culture, religion, or age, there are things that you've been told your kind just does not do, which is why there has got to be somebody in every family, neighborhood, culture, nation, and generation who breaks the mold and changes the way others think about society and their place in it. There has got to be someone willing to be an outlier, a savage, who sees those walls and barriers that are constantly trying to close us off and divide us up, and then breaks them down again by showing everyone what is possible. There's got to be someone who demonstrates greatness and makes everyone around them think differently. Why not you? The road to success is rarely a straight line for me. It's always been more like a maze. Many times when I thought I'd finally cracked the code, had it all figured out, and found the straight path to certain victory, I hit a wall or got spun into a turnaround. When that happens, we have two choices. We can stay stuck or regroup back up and try again. That's where evolution begins. Hitting those walls time and again will harden or streamline you, having to back up and formulate a new plan without any assurances it will ever pan out. Will tune your essay up and develop your problem-solving skills and your endurance. It will force you to adapt. When that happens hundreds of times over the course of many years, it is physically exhausting and mentally draining, and it becomes damn near impossible to believe in yourself or your future. A lot of people abandon belief at that point. They swirl in the eddies of comfort or regret, perhaps claim their victimhood, and stop looking for their way out of the maze. Others keep believing and find a way out, but hope to never slip into a trap like that ever again, and those skills they'd honed and developed wither. They lose their edge. I am always on the hunt for another twisted pretzel of a maze to get lost in, because that's where I find myself. The smooth road to success is of no use to savages like me. That may sound ideal, but it won't test us. It doesn't demand belief, so it will never make us great. We all build belief in different ways. I clock countless hours in the gym where I log thousands of reps and run and ride my bike obscene distances to cultivate belief, despite what you may think. I don't consider myself an ultra-athlete because those races are not who I am. They are tools. Each one provides me a stockpile of faith, so when I get stuck in the maze of life like a broke-down savage, I still believe I'm capable of achieving my unreasonable goals, such as becoming a smoke jumper at 47 years old, no matter what society or the good doctor says. I don't mean to suggest that you must run 100 or 200 miles to believe you have what it takes to get where you want to go. That's what I had to do based on the depth of the darkness I came from and the scale of my ambitions. But if you've lost it, you do need to find your way back to belief. Whatever it takes for you to believe that you're better than good enough to achieve your dreams is what you must do. And remember, your greatness is not tied to any outcome. It is found in the valiance of the attempt. My crew was one of 4 on standby when the winds picked up and thunderheads blew across northern British Columbia. We were on our satellite base in Sinai when the call came in mid-morning that there had been a lightning strike and a 3-air fire was burning outside of Fort Nelson. Although I graduated rookie training, you aren't officially a smoke jumper until you jump your first fire, and I was about to be baptized. Our 3-man crew hopped into the DC-3, a refurbished World War II relic with 3 other crews, enough firefighting gear to put the burn down, and 2 days of food and water. We flew for 90 minutes until we reached the billowing black smoke and leveled off at 1,500 feet. The streamers flew, and the spotter pointed out an overgrown pipeline corridor no more than 20 feet across, roughly a/4 mile from the flames. That was the DZ kneeling in the open doorway. The spotter shot at the wind drift and the hazard run down over the roar of the propellers. Roger that. I thought, am I clear? I hollered. The plane rattled and shook. It was so loud I could barely hear myself think. My pounding heart sent a flood of adrenaline rocketing through me. Locked into the static line, I stepped to the door, grabbed the outside edges with both hands, and flung myself into the sky in time to watch a teammate's parachute bloom 150 feet below me. Once my chute opened, the rumble of the propellers and wild hiss of the wind melted to a peaceful whisper. I looked down, located my DZ, identified all the hazards, and took in the full scope of the fire. There was danger in every direction, yet all I saw was beauty. My body had failed me for 8 years straight. I could have given up a dozen different times, at least many late nights and early mornings. My doubt was louder than that DC-3. I had to sit with that doubt, stare into it, and more often than not I had no answers, no good reason to think I would ever get here, because I kept falling short for one reason or another. It's easier to overcome doubt that you've built up in your mind. It's much harder when you know you fail more than once, and that the odds of success are slim. But because of the way I live and thanks to the mindset I work hard to cultivate, I had enough belief left to try one more time. Nothing in my life has ever happened for me on the first try. It took me 3 cracks to get through Navy SEAL training. I had to take the ASVAB 5 times and failed twice before breaking the Guinness World Record for most pull-ups in 24 hours. But by then failure had long since been neutralized. When I set an unaware in a goal and fall short, I don't even look at it as failure anymore. It is simply my first, second, third, or 10th attempt. That is what belief does for you. It takes failure out of the equation. Completely, because you go in knowing the process will be long and arduous, and that is what the we do. I wish I could more fully express what it's like to defy the medical mind, to parachute into wildfires at 47 years old. I find the sensation almost impossible to describe. All I can say is that I hope you and everyone else get to feel this one day, because to overcome all obstacles and bump up against the outer reaches of your capabilities is the pinnacle in those rare fleeting moments, when you are washed in a sense of infinite possibility and overwhelmed with glory. Everything they ever did to you or put in front of you, all the knockdowns, breakdowns, and focus, and every bit of the pain, doubt, and humiliation is worth it, but the only way to get there is to continually seek greatness and always be willing to try one more time. I never needed to be the hardest in the world. That became a goal, because I knew it would bring out my best self, which is what this up world needs from all of us to evolve into the very best versions of ourselves. That a moving target, and it isn't a one-time task. It is a lifelong quest for more knowledge, more courage, more humility, and more belief, because when you summon the strength and discipline to live like that, the only thing limiting your horizons is you.